Key point 1. The overthinking loop is tiring, but you can escape. Since you chose this summary, you probably know what it's like to be stuck between options and mulling over indecisively. Have you laid in bed at night worrying about what others think of you? Or whether you should return the pants that don't quite fit right? Or have you second-guessed yourself after an impulsive purchase? No matter the significance of those issues, these thoughts tie into a loop and are rarely helpful. You're overthinking. And while everyone wants to have their lives under control, why is it so challenging to escape this overthinking trap? A better life means worrying about what matters. The good news is that you can shift your focus to essential things instead of being paralyzed by minor inconveniences. In this summary, we'll discuss helpful and unexpected ways to see a particular situation in a new light. You'll take charge and break out of unhealthy patterns, keeping you from becoming better. Overthinking is not a death sentence. You're not just like that. Some strategies will appear small, but incremental changes can revolutionize your thinking. You might even have that light bulb moment of realization and see how specific patterns pop up in all spheres of life. Overthinking isn't about your basic needs. It comes into play with issues that require unnecessary emotional energy to solve. Do you want to get rid of an overwhelming should I or should I not feeling, or finally be able to make decisions easier? Do you want to enjoy life more? Hop on and stop overthinking. Key point 2. Narrow down the issue and be sure you can change. Many believe that overthinking is their inherent personality trait, so they never try to eliminate it. Therefore, the first step is recognizing you can change. Fighting overthinking requires effort, but a shift in perception is possible. Assuming you can't change something guarantees it will stay the same. You must describe yourself differently. Stop thinking you are a chronic overthinker. Instead say, I can make competent decisions easily. I don't need to second-guess myself. I can weed out what's unhealthy and insignificant. If you want to stop overthinking, you must start doing things differently. After you believe in your ability to improve, you can move on to specific strategies, which we'll cover later in this summary. It is inevitably challenging when you begin working on a skill, but it becomes easier as you practice. Learning to think without overwhelming yourself is the same process. It's essential to start small, so do not overload your mind. As you follow this journey, pick one strategy to begin with. Repeated action has power, no matter how tiny it seems. Recognizing your overthinking is vital in defeating it. Many have analysis paralysis. When overwhelming thoughts hinder their ability to decide, often your behavior seems rational to you, but another perspective reveals you may not be thinking objectively. Here are the telltale signs of analysis paralysis. You postpone decisions hoping for a more suitable option. You keep searching for more options. You frequently review available information. You are afraid to make a mistake. Intellectually curious people may seek more information on a topic despite already knowing enough, which may lead to decision paralysis. Exploring your options is good, but too much data doesn't simplify the solution. Perfectionism is another key factor in decision paralysis. It makes you want the perfect answer, so you end up overthinking every detail. You're likely a perfectionist if you zero in on flaws, replay conversations, and have an all-or-nothing approach. But this type of thinking may prevent you from making the final decision. If neither option is perfect, why make a choice? Overthinking is stressful and goes hand in hand with striving for perfection. Next, we'll discuss strategies to help you break out of this cycle. Key point 3. Effective thinking is an attainable skill. Battling overthinking takes more than a snap of a finger. Otherwise, no one would struggle with it. There are several exercises for you to try, so let's go over each one. Pick the ones that seem promising and give them a go. Reality check. If you're often stuck looking for the obvious perfect decision, remind yourself that it doesn't exist. In most cases, you'll find a couple of reasonable solutions. Don't think, act. If you can't pick the right answer, stop researching and start doing. One tiny action can give you the necessary momentum and a perspective shift. When stuck between decisions, ask yourself what you can do, whether getting another point of view from someone, setting a deadline, or making a list. Perfection doesn't exist. Trying to reach perfection in any task prevents you from enjoying your progress. Comparing your achievements to an ethereal ideal doesn't help decision-making and brings you down, which pulls you further into the overthinking loop. Start failing. Allow yourself to fail. A screw-up will teach you how to improve next time, so it's not inherently wrong. Any outcome of an experiment is helpful and therefore successful. Failure isn't that scary once you get comfortable with it. Get curious. When developers work on an app, the first version is never perfect. They want to make the first build quick and see how it works to improve it later. This approach of doing and seeing what happens is excellent for breaking out of overthinking. You don't have to get it right. Connect the dots. Once you try each strategy, you can combine them. Check your options and their outcomes. Get moving and ask a friend for a second opinion. Let yourself make a mistake. Experiment. Pick any option. If you get it right and like it, it's a win. Otherwise, you know that option won't work in the future and won't mull over it again. When you recognize a situation where you are overthinking, go through each step. It will become a habit with time, so you'll do it subconsciously. Ask yourself whether there is a setting that triggers analysis paralysis or perfectionism. What makes you stuck? Which strategies can you use to break the cycle? Did you know? Women are more prone to overthinking and perfectionism due to physiological and social factors. Therefore, they suffer from depression and anxiety twice as often as men. Key point 4. A robust system of values simplifies your decision-making process. An overthinker would have a tough time deciding whether to take a long flight abroad. There's no way to know if it's worth it. Let's take a look at Allie, a firm believer in empowering women. Because of her view, she has no problem with making decisions. So when her friend invited her on a trip to Thailand, the same weekend that she was to attend a fundraiser, she did not second-guess her decision to ditch the fundraiser for a fun girls' vacation. Core values provide a framework for your life. What you do stems from what you believe. People like Allie, who don't overthink, often mention that their values guide them. Define your key beliefs and decision-making will become more apparent. Moreover, you will be able to prioritize your resources. If showing up for your loved ones is essential for you, you won't have to debate going to a wedding or a small gathering. You won't regret the time you spend because you're expressing your love and support. The same goes for things that require your attention, like books, media, or global issues. However, some values people think they have never influenced their decisions, so assessing your beliefs is vital. But make sure to pay attention to your behavior. If you don't allocate any resources to charity, the latter probably isn't high on your value list. It's normal that your beliefs seem blurry. Examine what influences your decisions and where you spend time, energy, and money. If you don't like whatever you discover, identify the new values that make you who you want to be. With practice, they will become second nature. Another factor in decision-making is habits that can be helpful or detrimental. Some everyday tasks, like cleaning your workplace, seem insignificant at the moment, but that little effort pays tenfold in the long run. You won't need to search for paperwork on a messy desk. The value of daily habits becomes clear once you neglect them. Physical space significantly affects overthinking, so clutter distracts you from a clear thought process. When you feel overwhelmed or can't find something, that's your cue. Moving on from the external environment, let's discuss the equally important factor, your body. Firstly, get enough rest and nutrition. Exercise also helps your brain, so take daily walks. Remember to take breaks during mentally taxing tasks, which is a simple yet very effective strategy. The truth is this: these exercises don't need to be complex. A handful of simple actions have an immense impact. Key point 5. Kill overthinking before it starts. Moving on from the sense of failure is crucial because your thoughts affect your feelings, which determine your actions. It's hard today, but it won't stay that way. And Bogel. Therefore, thinking about what matters will zero in your effort on the things you value. It doesn't mean you should be happy about anything negative, but positive thoughts lead to positive actions. You can decide what you think, and therefore, what you feel. Preventing overthinking requires being selective with your attention. That might not sound doable, but you can break the cycle. Rumination is a type of overthinking. It's the repetitive, unhelpful thoughts you cannot stop, and here's why. When you ruminate, you think about the issue negatively and don't seek the answer. You can adopt new helpful thought patterns aimed at the solution that doesn't cause anxiety. Let's make a plan for situations that force overthinking. 1. Notice what's on your mind and what causes negative thought loops. 2. Disrupt the loop by concentrating on the good or practicing gratitude. For example, when you see a speeding car, imagine if there's someone in labor inside. 3. Get creative and imagine the situation from another viewpoint. What would you say to your loved one if they were in the same scenario? 4. Tell your brain, "Not now," and visualize brushing away those thoughts. 5. Brush away unhelpful thoughts. They just don't deserve your attention or define your best and authentic self. Recognize them and let them leave, and give overthinking the same treatment. 6. Postpone overthinking and indulge for a short time. This way, you can keep your analysis paralysis from meddling in essential tasks, but still get that relief. 7. Write down what's bothering you to untangle and organize your thoughts. 8. Distract yourself so overthinking fades into the background. This exercise may seem childish, but it can be effective. 9. Move your body and change the setting because your physical state affects the mind. Whether you exercise or just take out the trash, move. Apart from the first exercise, you can pick and choose them in random order. Try all of them to see which ones are effective for you. While your mind may get stuck sometimes, you can use these strategies to redirect it. Key point 6. Stop contemplating and move on. Some big decisions require more time, but there's a point where you start wasting it. So, how do you know when to stop? Let's see. 2 good choices. Being stuck seems counterintuitive when you have 2 good options, but people often wait for the right answer to become evident. Choose one of them and go. I know, but sometimes you might know the answer already. However, you keep analyzing the situation because you understand what needs to be done, but are reluctant to do it. Of course, 2 unpleasant options may also lead to overthinking. In this case, you must start acting. Keeping the unwanted action in front of you for longer will only bring you down, so get moving. The more you contemplate your options, the more difficult the decision becomes. Don't over-criticize yourself. Mistakes are simply mistakes. They happen by accident, and most will never be repeated. Therefore, you don't need to analyze them to do better next time. Don't wallow. Switch your attention to the next thing. Unfortunately, humans have limited physical and mental energy, so treat them as finite resources. Decision fatigue occurs when you feel overwhelmed by too many options. You can avoid it by limiting your everyday choices to free up time for more essential issues. Eat the same thing. If you hate prepping identical meals for a week, try a different streamlined process. Have a Taco Tuesday, buy what's on sale that day, or have eggs for supper and switch out the veggies for the ones you have. Signature dish. Perfect a recipe you're good at and use it for gatherings or dinners. Pick the outfit. Wear a shirt and pants. Buy clothes that go well with the rest of your wardrobe, and you won't have to think about what to wear. Like the last strategy, create a signature outfit for special occasions. One source. When you don't know what to read, limit your options to a single source like your bookshelf. Create routines. Set a laundry and grocery day or start working at the same time each day. You won't have to think about how to fit a task into your schedule if it's set to a specific time. You can skip some of these strategies if they don't fit your lifestyle. Their purpose is to clear your headspace so it's free of minor unnecessary decisions. Key point 7. Insignificant changes can bring you a life of joy. When you approach an automatic routine with a different mindset, it can become a ritual. It follows a rhythm and requires participation. For instance, a morning ritual helps you start the day and find harmony to tackle your tasks. A nighttime routine is beneficial for better sleep and a mental reset. You can also turn a regular activity into a routine to structure your day or week. Most importantly, rituals direct your mind to one activity, preventing overthinking. They can also facilitate your connections with yourself and other people. Don't stress about looking for the perfect one. Implement small rituals in your daily life and reap the benefits gradually. Be mindful of rituals that leave you anxious. If reading the news in the morning is stressful, move this activity to lunch. Another helpful exercise is splurging, which isn't about being irresponsible with money, but allocating resources for your splurges. Signature experiences usually cost money, but you'll receive fond memories of the time you splurged with your friends or family. Sometimes, it's not about spending money. You may allocate extra time for a road trip or try a new restaurant. Priceless memories won't make you second-guess your decision. New experiences bring excitement and curiosity into your life. For many of us, overthinking prevents joy and satisfaction from thriving. You don't have to spend resources to introduce more love into the daily routine. Small indulgences are perfectly fine. Tiny actions form a much bigger picture, so allowing yourself little bursts of joy can shift your perspective in the long run. The mental arena isn't my area of expertise, he said, but I know this. Your thoughts can be the enemy, or you can make them your ally. And Bogel. Find your little treat, whether a warm bath, good quality pens, or a piece of chocolate. People often default to rejecting pleasures because they don't need them. But showing yourself love and care is vital. Take the longer path that's more enjoyable because of the scenery. Like the special occasion candles. Overthinking these tiny decisions won't bring you more happiness. Find simple pleasures and live peacefully. Conclusion. Now that you're at the end of this journey, you can use the strategies we discussed to change how you think and therefore your world experience. Overthinking prevents you from living your life. If you spend time mulling over every decision, overthinking compiles your life. Moreover, it affects those around you. But once you concentrate your physical and mental efforts on what matters, your joy will have a ripple effect on others too. Every little interaction has an impact. If it's guided by peace, you can spread love instead of destruction. Think of what kind of world you want to live in and let that influence your decisions. When you begin battling analysis paralysis, expect that you'll succeed. Your perspective is essential. And when something does not go according to plan, lean into it and predict a pleasant outcome. Choose strategies that seem promising and keep at them. You can't stop overthinking overnight. But after we've laid the groundwork, continue to practice. Change is possible and valuable, no matter how long you've struggled to make decisions. Try this. Manage the time you spend on technology. While it can be beneficial, the internet presents us with a myriad of options. You always choose whether to look at your phone when it's on you. Therefore, try these techniques to be mindful of your interactions with technology and stay in control. Implement device-free zones where you don't have to decide whether to use them. Close unnecessary tabs in your browser. They often represent halfway decisions you keep contemplating. Unsubscribe from marketing emails.